Good evening. The massive and volatile weather system we've been tracking here the last few nights is extending its astonishing reach and impact, spawning a punishing tornado outbreak continuing in the south right now. Local news viewers in New Orleans watching a short time ago as a tornado roared through the city with early reports of damage. It's all part of a sprawling weather mass that has brought crippling blizzard conditions to the upper Midwest and violent storms across several southern states, killing at least 3 people. And there are new watches and warnings posted tonight in the south. The Weather Service calling it a particularly dangerous situation as the east braces for the storm's next act. We have it all covered tonight, starting with Morgan Chesky in Louisiana.
Tonight, a huge tornado churning across New Orleans.
There you can see a very large tornado. Now we've got the power flashes. Get to your safe place right now.
The twister striking the lower 9th Ward and parts of St. Bernard Parish. Damage unknown at this hour. It's part of a deadly tornado outbreak, devastating parts of the state. Twisters tearing across roadways and ripping off roofs. In New Iberia, police confirming 2 tornadoes touched down. Authorities there helping people trapped inside debris.
We do have several units from several agencies on scene. They are rescuing people who are trapped.
More than 7,000 homes losing power. Others no longer standing. Authorities say at least 3 people are dead, including an 8-year-old boy.
That whole trailer park gone.
In Keithville, families are now left picking up the pieces. The governor telling NBC he's investigating whether mobile alerts went out to this rural neighborhood.
I know we're in a rural area here. Do we know if these folks got any kind of warning ahead of this storm?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure that out. Quite frankly, this is an area that is so rural, the cell phone coverage is inadequate to begin with.
So far this week, at least 32 tornadoes have been reported across 4 states. Meteorologists say warmer temperatures in recent years are partially to blame for the growing number of winter twisters and could be pushing the infamous Tornado Alley farther east. This week's deadly southern storms, part of the major system pushing its way across the country and stretching all the way to Minnesota. Tonight, blizzard conditions are pummeling parts of the Dakotas. Storms there already dumping 2 feet of snow, with more continuing to fall. All part of a dangerous and now deadly storm system that's not slowing down.
And Morgan, we're getting new reports by the minute. Where do things stand right now in New Orleans and across Louisiana?
Yeah, Lester, damage reports coming in from New Orleans by the minute. We do know that there is extensive damage. We're still continuing to hear more. We do know that officials issued urgent shelter-in-place warnings and told anyone without shelter would be at risk of flying debris. But most heartbreaking of all, Lester, some of these same areas hit today were also struck barely 9 months ago when an EF3 tornado struck back in March. Lester.
Hate to hear that. All right, Morgan, thank you. And the threat from this storm is far from over. Dylan Dreyer is tracking it. Dylan, a long night ahead in the Deep South.
It certainly is, with that potentially dangerous situation, that tornado watch down across 3 states into Mississippi, Alabama, and still continuing to include Louisiana. This is moving eastward, and we still have tornado warnings popping up. And also straight line wind gusts can cause significant amount of damage, too. But it's in this area in red where we have our best chance of seeing those continued tornadoes. And then tomorrow, still looking at the threat of severe storms, but the whole threat of tornado activity should weaken a little bit, but we're still going to be concerned about Georgia and Florida, too. Let's also talk about the wintry side of this storm system. Blizzard warnings are still in effect. Also want to point out ice warnings in parts of Pennsylvania, back into Maryland and West Virginia, too. That's where we could see a glaze on the road that could make things very dangerous. But the accumulating snow is mostly up across Minnesota at this time, with 2 feet of snow still possible and those blinding conditions because of the gusty winds. And then as we go into tomorrow and tomorrow night into Friday, we could end up with a foot of snow for parts of the interior Northeast.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.